Good morning and welcome to Real Estate Economics weekly webinar series. Real Estate Economics is a leading provider of residential market consulting and online research tools. Every Wednesday at 9 a.m. we provide an economic overview of a different residential market across the country. In some cases it might be the entire nation. Some cases it's a state, a region, or down to a county or large MSA level. This week we'll be presenting Seattle, Bellevue, Everett, Washington MSA. The date of the program is May 2010. You can find these webinars weekly posted to YouTube at www.youtube.com/real estate economics, all spelled out. This particular week, as I mentioned, we're presenting Seattle, Washington, and that larger MSA. Next week, we'll be presenting the state of Texas, again, posting 9 a.m. 5/26 to YouTube. Please come to our website at www.realestateeconomics.com for an upgraded schedule of future webinars. Also, at realestateeconomics.com, you can see past webinars. Find a link to past webinars and download those from YouTube, which will allow you to look at those at your own convenience, listen to the parts you want, go back to parts you missed, and handle that in any order you'd choose. This is part one today. We're going to take a look back in time, as we like to do, and see how the conditions that are presently on the ground have come to pass and what's really taking place year to year to year leading up to our current condition. This particular map is a map from our housing transactions report, available online for any market area you desire. You could do this on a state basis, on a county basis, on a city, a zip code. You can draw your own polygons to really dig down to a granular level on any particular market area you like. You could even, if you knew the precise boundaries, select an individual master plan or neighborhood and look at the transactions that are taking place there. If you see blue, the blue dots are conventional resales. Now that category can include short sales, so we're going to see quite a bit of action in that category during the course of this presentation. The green are new home sales. Those are conventional builder subdivision sales. The burnt orange, if you will, is a foreclosure. That is an owner back to lender transaction. And last in yellow is foreclosure sales. That is a lender returning that inventory or that unit back out to a new third-party buyer. As you can see, in March 2007, economic conditions in this particular area are generally very good. Credit's abundant, builders, buyers, businesses all have ready access to credit. The national economy is performing at a pretty high level and things look pretty good. As you can see in the numbers, only about 72% of the sales are conventional owner-to-owner sales. At this point in time, short sales are negligible. Builder-to-owner, new subdivision, new home sales are 25%, a very healthy number. The lender or owner back to lender sales are only 1%, and the foreclosure sales, lender out to new third-party owner, are just 2.2%. So really, that's about the amount you would see in a healthy economic environment. But let's come forward one year to March 2008. Now all of a sudden, the conventional resales have dropped a little bit here, 68.4%. New builder volume is down from about 25% to 21.3%, and you can see foreclosures have gone from 1 to 5%, and foreclosure sales to roughly 2% up to 5%. So we're seeing the first stage of economic erosion, but as much as anything, we're seeing the early subprime borrowers start to hit the wall in terms of payment shock, and the few industries that at this point are feeling early distress, leading to just a few employment losses at this time, are starting to throw some homes into distress. Let's come forward one more year, March 2009. Now the conventional resales owner to owner, as we call them, shown in the blue dots, are down to just 56%. New home, new subdivision sales, 14%. So that's already dropped from 25% in 07 to 14% in 09. And here we go, the foreclosures are taking off up to almost 13%, and foreclosure sales 16.9%. All of these numbers that we're giving are for that particular month. That's a single month's data, so it's showing that the foreclosure sales are consistently outpacing the foreclosures. There is seasonality in some of these numbers, and so they tend to seesaw during the course of the year. As you can see from the map, there's still new home sales pretty plentiful in a number of areas here. Discounting is becoming widespread at this point. Concessions are definitely increasing, and you can start to see a little bit more distress in some of the outlying areas, particularly the south, the Tacoma, Fort Lewis, some of those areas. It look like they're showing a little bit more action in terms of foreclosures and foreclosure sales. Let's come forward one more year. This is essentially current data. We run about 30 days behind from the county assessors, and then we process it and put it into our housing transactions report for use by our subscription clients, and also you can purchase one-offs on this. Let's come forward again. March 2010, 61.6% conventional resales. At this point in time, these numbers are starting to include more short sales. The lenders are finding that this is a decent way to manage their foreclosure inventory, and are starting to speed the approval process. They've been building internal infrastructure, building staffing, building programs to handle the homes coming back to them. And one of those areas that's really manifest is through increased short sales. New home sales are now still lower, 8.6%. They're scattered around. Discounts are again quite substantial. Incentives are in place here, and we've also got the effects of the different tax credits that are out on the market. Foreclosures now 12.6%, so a little bit less than 2009, and foreclosure sales 17%, so this is still staying ahead of foreclosures on a month-to-month basis. Again, there's seasonality in these numbers, and we expect those to bounce back a little bit back and forth. Let's take a 5-year look at average prices and square footage here, going back to March 2006. You can see that the peak was really during the 2007 period, when we topped out $422,136 was our average base price, $252 per square foot on the value ratio. That held semi-steady into March 2008, when we started to see a little bit of economic weakness, and then the tail off really took hold March 2008 to 2009, where we dropped from $415 rounded to $344 and lost about $45 in our value ratio. Now, as you can see, from March 2009 to March 2010, the base price is up just $1,000 or $1,200 here, but we've got a little bit of rebound in the value ratio, which we think is significant. It's showing a little bit of trough in the pricing and at least some stabilization. Let's look at the transaction history again on a 5-year basis here. You can really see that the trend in conventional resales in March 2006 for this single month. It's a 1-month data again. Nearly 6,000 conventional resales. These numbers came off very hard into 07 and 08, really troughing out in March 2009. And now into 2010, as we come forward to the present, those numbers are actually up again with some pre-sales. So what we've seen is a trough in volume. We would expect that the trough in pricing wouldn't be too far behind. It probably lags that trough in volume, but not by too much. New home sales, you can see, coming down, have yet to trough, and foreclosures and foreclosure sales are rising during the 2009 and 2010 time period. Here's the attached versus detached. You can see that the detached holds a pretty substantial market advantage throughout history. This is actually narrowing. In 2009 and 2010, the attached is about 20%. It's typically had 25%, but the detached is gaining favor over time. That's the end of part 1. So if you would like to see the whole entire series, make sure you download all 4 sections, and we'll resume with part 2 in just a moment.